Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene, the woman who is now afraid to get out of bed in the morning because I never know what's going to hit me on any certain day. I have new stress. I'm going to be as quick as I can because I have a lot to do right now. But I have new stress added to my plate that I wasn't expecting, and well, kind of two new stresses. One is to do with my blog. I'm going to start with that and just be as brief as I can with that. I'm trying to not make my furniture squeak because it's driving me crazy. Squeaky, squeaky, somehow. Squeaky. I'm all squeaky. And then the other one is my realtor. So let's start with the blog. I woke up this morning to a broken blog. Nothing was coming up. So I called GoDaddy. Yes, I stick with them even though there are horror stories about them. And what happened is they changed their servers about a month ago, and everybody was supposed to go along for the ride. He said, yeah, it looks like I knew the phone would ring. I took the phone off the hook. I don't want it to ring again. Okay, so GoDaddy made changes about a month ago, and everybody was supposed to be moved over to, I don't know if it's just the servers, but something about the cPanel, a new cPanel, whatever. I just didn't get moved. So he said, I will move you now. So I waited. Eventually my blog came up, and I was like, yes, thank you so much. It's about an hour and a half for that to happen with him on the phone. And as soon as I hang up, I noticed that my blog post, the top one, was old, a month old. So I start looking, and everything that I have done for the past month was gone. So that means that when he moved me, only that part that was there a month ago got moved. See, what he said is that what I was stuck on, the old version, that was going to disappear after a month. So that's why my blog all of a sudden wasn't visible. After a month, it disappeared because that server didn't exist anymore. I was only up for a month. And I couldn't quite grasp how come only part of my blog would come back, but not the whole other month. So I'm thinking there has to be something to do with folders or whatever. So I called back, and I had this other guy, and he tried so many things, but he kept saying, no, it's not going to work. There's nothing we can do. It has to do with the migration. And I was like, GoDaddy, needs to compensate people for things like this. That's a month of work. Now, the thing that bothered me the most is all the stuff that I have for my sales. Even though something is sold out, I like to use those as a template so I can just copy that one and then do another one. All frigging gone. So I insisted that I wanted to talk to somebody else. I wanted some kind of a tech support ticket opened or whatever, and he didn't want to do it. But he finally said, I will do that. And I said, okay. Like, what the fuck? Why can't he do that? Why is that such a big deal? He said somebody would call me. I did not expect anybody to call me, but a woman called, and she was very helpful. She was so patient and understanding, and she wanted to do everything she could to try to get my blog back up. And she did. She did get it so that I had all the full blog right up until my last post that I just did a day or two ago. But we discovered that I was having trouble logging in, and none of my images, even though they show on my blog, and I bet they're going to disappear, none of my images survived. So I couldn't upload any new images into my older posts. I can't even copy those posts and reuse them like I always have. I have to start from scratch. It was, and we ended up hanging up with my blog still broken, but with me, I had to hang up. I was on the phone for over 6.5 hours today with just a couple breaks in there, And it was just awful. I hadn't eaten. I was not drinking water. My hand was completely numb. I was like trying to hold this piece of shit. You know, it's like I can't use a cell to talk on the phone because I have to hold it so I can type and stuff. So I told her. She said, I think it's a plug-in, and it was like, yeah, it could be. But the thing is that when it changed, there was so many things that needed to be updated and all that. So I ended up, you know, willingly saying that we were going to say goodbye, knowing that my blog is still very broken. But it's at least there. I'm hoping that I can have my sale this week. You know, just a nightmare. And I was sick over all of that. But it's getting to the point, and, you know, I do private chats with my, not really chats, and like not back and forth, but I post about my very incredibly boring life to my exclusive shoppers, my patrons and my YouTube members. And, you know, I kept updating them, and it was to the point that even though I cried many tears today, it's like it's getting comical. It's like, what the fuck can go wrong now? I mean, I just can't believe that I have to have so many things going wrong. And I'm not, you know, this is not a fixed thing yet, so I have a lot of work to do. But I need to take a break from it because I'm just going to go crazy if I don't. The other thing is, okay, the whole issue that I had with the title company. Like I said, that started, let's see, June and July, May, June, and July are the 3 months that I was aware of an issue. The past, like just past few weeks were really scary. And through all this, I kind of saw another side to my realtor. Things that weren't making sense anymore. Saying one thing one time, saying a completely different thing another time. A lot of making up excuses. Well, I don't know if he's making up excuses, but a lot of, you know, he was making a lot of excuses for things that didn't go right. And he would sometimes like try to throw it back on me, and I wasn't liking that. One of the things was I asked him why nobody was at closing with me. Now, this is a year ago, and I don't remember, but I was at closing alone. I have 2 realtors working as a team, and I was at closing alone with a title company that I was arguing with because I didn't like what I was signing, and I was very concerned about it, and they just kept saying, everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be okay. And I think it was talking to my brother. He's like, well, wasn't your agent with you? And I was like, no. And he's like, what are you talking about? So I asked him why nobody was with me. And he says, oh, wasn't so-and-so with you? He was surprised. He thought the other agent was with me. And I said, no. And he goes, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. We couldn't have done anything about it. That's when he absolutely lost my respect. If he would have been there with me and saw how concerned I was about signing something, if he wouldn't have said, no, you can't sign this way. Title company, you have to fix this before she signs. If he wouldn't have said that, then he doesn't know what he's doing. That's his job, to be there and support me through the closing of this house. So I don't want him as my realtor anymore, and I did let him know. And I'm not naming names because I'm afraid that, I mean, there's a lot of people who watch my videos, and I'm afraid no other realtor will want me if they think I'm going to come here and state people's names. I have no problem with naming names for the title company, but at this point, I still want to work out what I can with the realtor, you know, before I make that decision. And like I said, it probably is a very boring story to you guys. It was just really, really frustrating, stressful, and maddening to me. So I texted my realtor yesterday and told him I wanted to part ways. Now I know I have a contract, and I explained, you know, and he called and, no, he doesn't want to let me out of the contract. And I thought, why do you want to be with somebody who is absolutely miserable? And his thing is that happened a year ago, has nothing to do with now. But I said, but everything that built up to what I just went through. Yes, it happened a year ago, but I didn't learn about most of this until just recently. The past 3 months and then the past few weeks were a living hell. And I told him, I said, I've learned a lot about you, and you mix words, you say one thing and then another. I feel like I can't trust you anymore. I can't trust him. And there's a couple of other things that were major. Like, for instance, I printed out my lease to look. I was in a panic. I'm like, I better not have signed a year lease. So it is only 6 months. But before I signed the lease, I was clear about a certain thing that I did not want in that contract. And he's like, oh, no. He even said, we can't even do that in Maine anymore. And I'm not trying to be secretive, but I'm just trying to be able to tell the story without giving too many details at this point. So it was in the contract, checked off as yes. Something that he had said no, he wouldn't put that in, and it was in there with a checkbox. Now, when I did text him. He didn't reply to that. He will just say that, oh, well, if I said that, then I misspoke, or I didn't understand what you were talking. It'll somehow be just dismissed in that way. And I can't do business with somebody like that. Now, if I wasn't in a, kind of a hurry to sell this house, I would like it sold before winter, because I don't want to be hassled with that. I would just wait out the contract, but I don't want to. So if he doesn't let me out of the contract, he said he's going to talk to the broker tomorrow. And I'm like, why would you want to stay with me in this contract? Why? And he's like, because I did nothing wrong and nothing went wrong or something like that. And I was like, yeah, but I'm miserable. Do you want me to be miserable? He was like all comforting when I was miserable, and even crying on the phone with him. I cried with him, I cried with the title company, I cried with everybody. And it's like, you want me to continue to be stressed? And it's hard to be honest and say, I don't trust you to my realtor, especially when I know that even if I say that and he doesn't break the contract, or he won't let me break the contract, that means I have to work with somebody that I've said I don't trust you to. That's not a comfortable situation. And I have to find out more details, because my brother, who knows a lot about this, said that even if they break a contract, it can be that he can still get commission and all that. So it's just a hot mess. It's a hot mess. So those are my 2 new things. The blog was certainly new, and the realtor is kind of new, because I haven't taken action on that yet. I wanted to see if the title company bullshit was going to be solved, and it is for now. I always think that there's a way that could fall apart, but we're going to wait it out a little bit. And yeah, so there's my whole non-story for you, but I'm just here to tell you I'm stressed out. I had like one okay day, but it wasn't even an okay day, because I was suffering from a stress hangover, and I had that good news, and I'm still glad that that's done. I am glad that I have my blog, even though it's broken. I don't know. I can't believe I can't have access to any picture on my blog. 20 years I've had a blog. There's a lot of pictures, and but I'm just gonna have to make do with it. I don't think I'm gonna try really hard to fix it. If I can start posting new things, I'll just go with that and just have to recreate all the stuff that I have to recreate so I can have a sale. Oh my God, what's going to happen next? I'm petrified about going to Goodwill tomorrow. It's like, what's gonna happen? But that is my plan, and I don't know if I'm going to record while driving, because my camera shakes, and I tried to do that last week, and I just could not upload anything. I kept recording, and I just kept starting over, and it was a really lousy Monday. So tomorrow I'm going to call them first to make sure they're not closed. They were closed last week because of no staff, and if they're open, I have to go get rid of the stuff that's been in my car for a week. I need that out, and I put a few more things in today. I hope to put a few more things in again tomorrow and do my last scheduled Goodwill run. After that, it will be only when I have enough things to bring, or I just need to take a ride. Just want to get out of the house and take a ride. So I just wanted to fill you in on that a little bit. Other than that, same old, same old. And thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.